Step into the unsettling realm of Hollywood's hidden horrors, where the lives of 35 cherished actors were tragically cut short by brutal murders. Each story reveals a unique blend of fame and misfortune, exposing the dark underbelly of an industry often shrouded in glamour. From the shocking crime scenes that left investigators baffled to the unsolved mysteries that continue to haunt fans and families alike, these tales are filled with unexpected twists and heart-wrenching details. The lives of these actors were marked by talent and charisma, yet their deaths serve as grim reminders of the dangers lurking behind the scenes. As we explore these tragic narratives, prepare to confront the unsettling truths that lie beneath the surface of fame, where the allure of the spotlight can sometimes lead to a deadly fate. Each revelation is more shocking than the last, pulling you deeper into a world where stardom and tragedy intertwine, leaving a lasting impact on those who dare to remember. Known for her beauty and talent, Lana Clarkson was a long-legged blonde actress who made a mark in American television during the 1970s and 1980s. She appeared in popular shows like Three's Company and The Jeffersons, showcasing her comedic skills and dependable nature as an actress. Clarkson was not only admired for her looks, but also for her intelligence and kindness. Tragically, her life was cut short on the morning of February 3, 2003, when she was found dead inside the mansion of music producer Phil Spector in Alhambra, California. Their meeting had occurred while she was working at the House of Blues in Los Angeles, leading to a fateful night that would end in horror. Spector faced trial for her murder in 2007, but the first trial ended in a mistrial due to a hung jury. A second trial began in 2008, and on April 13, 2009, the jury found him guilty of second-degree murder. He was sentenced to 19 years to life in prison. Spector, known for producing legendary music, saw his reputation collapse with this conviction. He passed away in a prison hospital in January 2021, leaving behind a complicated legacy intertwined with the tragic fate of Lana Clarkson. Sharon Tate's career began to take shape when she landed her first big break as Janet Trigo, the attractive bank secretary on the beloved television series The Beverly Hillbillies. This role showcased her charm and talent, paving the way for bigger opportunities. Her most significant role came in 1967 when she starred as the starlet in the film Valley of the Dolls, which further established her as a rising star in Hollywood. During this time, Sharon was not just an actress. She was also experiencing a personal milestone, as she was 2 months pregnant with her first child while filming a light-hearted Italian comedy titled 12-1 in February 1969. Tragically, her life was cut short on August 9, 1969. Sharon Tate, along with Abigail Folger, Jay Sebring, Stephen Parent, and Wojtek Fikowski, became victims of a horrific crime committed by 3 followers of Charles Manson. The scene was described by investigators as eerily reminiscent of a bizarre religious rite. The bodies of these 5 individuals were discovered at the home of Sharon and her husband, screen director Roman Polanski. The shocking nature of the murders sent shockwaves through the nation and left a lasting impact on Hollywood and its community. Charles Manson himself died in prison in 2017, while some of his followers, like Watson and Krenwinkel, remain incarcerated. The tragic fate of Sharon Tate serves as a haunting reminder of the darker side of fame and the fragility of life. Merlin Santana began his career at a very young age, starting as an advertising model for a fast food chain when he was just 3 years old. His talent caught the attention of many, leading him to land a role as Stanley, one of Rudy Huxtable's admirers, on the beloved TV show The Cosby Show in 1984. However, his most recognized role came later when he portrayed the charming Romeo Santana on the popular WB series The Steve Harvey Show in 1996. This character showcased his charisma and smooth talking, making him a favorite among fans. Tragically, Merlin's life was cut short when he was murdered on November 9, 2002, in Los Angeles, California. At only 26 years old, he was sitting in a car when the incident occurred. Many were shocked, but not entirely surprised by the news of his death. Merlin was known for his wild spirit and immense talent, living life on his own terms. He was someone who did not easily follow rules or listen to others, which some believe contributed to the circumstances surrounding his untimely demise. His vibrant personality and the legacy he left behind continue to be remembered by those who admired his work and the impact he had on television. Carl Switzer became famous for portraying Alfalfa in the film series Our Gang during the 1930s. His character was known for his distinctive cowlick and his memorable singing voice, making him one of the most beloved figures in the series. Switzer's charm and talent captured the hearts of many young viewers, and he became a staple of childhood entertainment. However, as he grew older, his acting roles diminished significantly, often relegated to bit parts and appearances in low-budget films. This shift in his career forced him to seek other ways to support himself, leading him to various jobs outside of acting. Tragically, Switzer's life ended in a violent manner. He was fatally shot by an acquaintance over a money dispute. The details surrounding his death are shrouded in mystery, with conflicting accounts from the shooter and an eyewitness. This ambiguity adds to the tragic nature of his story, as it highlights the unpredictable and often harsh realities of life, even for someone who once brought joy to many. The circumstances of that fateful day remain a topic of speculation, leaving behind a legacy that is both celebrated and marked by tragedy. Jack Nance traveled throughout the country for 8 years, performing in children's theater before joining the American Conservatory Theater in San Francisco. His journey took a significant turn when he became involved with avant-garde theater, where he explored more experimental forms of performance. In the early 1970s, while performing in a local theater in Philadelphia, he first met filmmaker David Lynch. This meeting would change his life, as Lynch decided to cast him as the lead in the groundbreaking film Eraserhead, released in 1977. Nance's unique look and intense performances made him a memorable figure in the film. Tragically, his life was cut short when he died suddenly and unexpectedly on December 30, 1996. His death was attributed to an apparent internal head injury sustained during a physical altercation at a donut shop. This incident occurred after he got into a brawl with some rowdy patrons, highlighting the unpredictable nature of his final moments. Christina Grimmie was an American actress, singer, songwriter, and a beloved YouTube sensation. Known on YouTube as Zelda XLO64, she gained fame by posting impressive covers of popular songs that captivated many fans. Her talent shone brightly when she became a contestant on NBC's The Voice, where she placed second runner-up, showcasing her incredible vocal abilities and charm. Tragically, her life was cut short on June 10, 2016, after a concert in Orlando, Florida. After performing with the band Before You Exit at the Plaza Live, she was shot 3 times by 27-year-old Kevin James Loibl from St. Petersburg, Florida. This horrifying act occurred while she was signing autographs for her fans. In a desperate attempt to protect his sister, Christina's brother, Marcus, tackled the shooter, who then fatally shot himself. The shocking event left her fans and loved ones devastated, marking a tragic end to a promising career and life. At the young age of 16, Salvatore Sal Mineo Jr. made a significant impact in the film industry with his role as Plato in the classic movie Rebel Without a Cause, released in 1955. His performance was so remarkable that it earned him a nomination for Best Supporting Actor at the Academy Awards. This was just the beginning of a promising career, as he received another nomination for his role as Dove Lando in Exodus in 1960. After a successful run in film, Sal returned to the stage in 1975, starring in the San Francisco production of P.S. Your Cat is Dead. Tragically, on the evening of February 12, 1976, after returning from rehearsal, Sal was attacked and stabbed to death by a stranger. The assailant was identified as Lionel Ray Williams, a drifter who was later arrested for the crime. Following a trial in 1979, Williams was convicted and sentenced to life in prison for the murder. However, he was paroled in 1990. Reports indicate that Sal was confronted by Williams during the attack, and it is believed that he may have offered some resistance. This act of defiance led to him being stabbed once in the heart. He stumbled and fell face first to the ground right where an SUV was parked, and this location became the scene where his body was discovered when the police were called. Rebecca began her journey in the world of modeling at the young age of 16, making her way to New York City to pursue her dreams. She quickly established herself and became well known for her co-starring role on the television show My Sister Sam, which aired in 1986. This role brought her significant recognition and a devoted fan base. In 1989, she took on the role of spokesperson for Thursday's Child, a charity dedicated to helping at-risk teens, showing her commitment to making a difference in the lives of young people. Tragically, her life was cut short in a horrifying event. In April of that year, Rebecca visited a girls' shelter to sign autographs, an act of kindness that would soon turn into a nightmare. Just 2 months later, she was shot to death outside her new apartment in West Hollywood. The shooter, Robert John Bardo, was a paranoid schizophrenic fan who had come to her door asking for an autograph. Despite being busy rehearsing for what she considered the most important role of her career, Rebecca kindly obliged. However, Bardo felt rejected when she did not spend more time with him. He returned shortly after, pressed the buzzer, and when she opened the door again, he shot her once in the chest, hitting her heart directly. As paramedics rushed her to Cedars-Sinai Hospital, they desperately tried to save her life. It was only when they recognized her that the gravity of the situation began to sink in. The realization that they were working on the beloved actress, Rebecca Schaeffer, added a tragic layer to an already devastating event. She was pronounced dead shortly after arriving at the hospital, leaving behind a legacy that was both bright and heartbreakingly brief. The impact of her death reverberated through the entertainment industry and beyond, highlighting the dangers that can arise from fame and obsession. In the vibrant world of early Hollywood, Thelma Todd emerged as a talented actress. She began her career making short films for Hal Roach before signing with Paramount Pictures. At just 21 years old, she starred as Lauren Lane in the 1927 romantic comedy Fascinating Youth, which showcased new stars for the studio. Beyond her acting, Thelma was also a savvy businesswoman, opening the popular Sad Sidewalk Cafe, a nightclub restaurant that became a favorite among show business people. However, this establishment attracted some unsavory characters from the underworld, leading to rumors of gangsters attempting to take control of her club and convert it into a gambling den. Thelma and her boyfriend, director Roland West, refused to sell their club upon discovering these intentions, which put them at odds with dangerous individuals. Tragically, on December 16, 1935, Thelma was found dead in her car in her garage in Los Angeles. Initially ruled a suicide by carbon monoxide poisoning, many who knew her found this hard to believe, as she had never shown signs of depression. Speculations about her death being connected to the threats surrounding her nightclub continued to spark debate, making her passing one of Hollywood's greatest mysteries. The glamorous life she led contrasts sharply with the dark circumstances of her demise, leaving many to wonder about the true nature of her death. Born Philip Edward Hartman on September 24, 1948, in Brantford, Ontario, Canada, Phil Hartman became a beloved figure in comedy. In 1975, he joined the California comedy troupe The Groundlings, where he collaborated with notable talents like Paul Reubens and John Lovitz. Together, they created the iconic character Pee Wee Herman, and Phil even appeared as Pirate Captain Carl on the show Pee Wee's Playhouse in 1986. That same year, he joined the cast of Saturday Night Live, where he showcased his incredible range by impersonating famous figures such as Frank Sinatra, Bill Clinton, Ronald Reagan, Ed McMahon, and Barbara Bush over an impressive 8 seasons. Tragically, on May 28, 1998, Phil was shot to death in his Encino, California home by his wife, Bryn Hartman. After the shooting, Bryn left the house but returned later with a friend to show him Phil's body. When her friend went to call 911, Bryn locked herself in the bedroom with Phil's lifeless body and took her own life. A coroner's report later revealed that Bryn had alcohol, cocaine, and the antidepressant Zoloft in her system at the time of the incident. This heartbreaking event marked a tragic end to the life of a talented comedian whose work continues to be celebrated. Bob Crane began a lengthy, successful career in radio before transitioning to television. In 1965, he received the starring role in a new sitcom for CBS called Hogan's Heroes. In this series, he played the smooth-talking, crafty Colonel Robert Hogan, a character that became iconic and endeared him to audiences. Crane's charm and comedic timing contributed to the show's popularity during its run. By 1973, he took his talents to the stage, buying the rights to the play Beginner's Luck. He both directed the play and starred in it, showcasing his versatility as an entertainer. The play toured across the country, gaining attention and drawing crowds. In June 1978, Crane brought Beginner's Luck to Scottsdale, Arizona, where his life took a tragic turn. In the early morning hours of June 29, 1978, Bob Crane was brutally murdered in his rented apartment room. He was beaten to death while he slept and strangled with an electrical cord, a shocking and violent end to his life. At just 49 years old, his murder remains unsolved, leaving behind a legacy of talent and a haunting mystery that continues to intrigue many. Dorothy Stratton's story was brief, glorious, and tragic. While she was not considered a beauty as a child or early teen, Stratton blossomed after high school. She caught the attention of Paul Snider, a promoter and aspiring star. Their relationship began, and after seeing an advertisement for Playboy's 25th anniversary Playmate search in 1978, he convinced her to pose for photos. Soon after, under pressure, she married Snider, who had a controlling influence over her. Following the release of her Playboy centerfold, Stratton gained opportunities in film, appearing in Americathon and Scattown, USA in 1979. She also became the object of affection for Richard Dawson in a special filmed at the Playboy Mansion in 1980. Stratton's career peaked when Hugh Hefner named her Playmate of the Year. However, her marriage to Snyder was deteriorating. He became increasingly possessive, even bothering her on the set of Galaxina. When Snyder discovered her growing relationship with director Peter Bogdanovich, his frustration escalated. After a separation, he lured Stratton back to their old apartment in West Los Angeles. There, he tied her up, assaulted her, and tragically took her life with a shotgun. Snyder then turned the gun on himself, completing a horrific murder-suicide. When his roommates checked on them, they found both Stratton and Snyder dead. Reports later confirmed the tragic circumstances of her death, marking a devastating end to her brief life filled with promise. In 1913, Ramon Novarro and his family fled to Los Angeles, seeking refuge from the turmoil of the Mexican Revolution. His early life was filled with diverse experiences, as he worked as a ballet dancer, a piano teacher, and a singing waiter. In 1917, he transitioned into the film industry, starting as a film extra. By 1925, he achieved fame for his role as the title character in Ben-Hur, A Tale of the Christ, which showcased his talent and charisma. He later starred alongside Norma Shearer in The Student Prince in Old Heidelberg in 1927, and appeared with Greta Garbo in the successful film Mata Hari in 1931. However, despite his early success, his career began to decline rapidly. On October 30, 1968, tragedy struck when Ramon Novarro was brutally beaten in his North Hollywood home by two young hustlers. They mistakenly believed he had a large sum of money hidden in his residence. Unfortunately, their search yielded no money, and the next day, Ramon was found dead by his servant. His life, once filled with glamour and success, ended in a horrific act of violence that shocked the entertainment world. In the world of film, Ginny Maxwell is remembered for her notable role as Ellie Corbett in the 1961 musical comedy Blue Hawaii. Her character was a flirtatious teenage girl who, despite not being the main female lead, had significant screen time and her own subplots that added depth to the film. Blue Hawaii became a major box office success, ranking as the 10th highest-grossing film of 1961, marking what many consider the peak of Maxwell's acting career. Tragically, her life took a dark turn on June 10, 1981, when she and her ex-husband were shot and killed in the lobby of her Beverly Hills condo. The incident was initially reported as a botched robbery, but the mystery deepened when it was discovered that nothing had been stolen from their residence. This unsolved case left many questions unanswered and cast a shadow over her legacy. Maxwell was just 39 years old at the time of her death, leaving behind a career that had shown great promise. The circumstances surrounding her murder remain a haunting reminder of the fragility of life and the unpredictability of fate. Born in Boston, Susan Cabot faced a challenging childhood, moving through a series of 8 foster homes. As she grew older, she found herself torn between pursuing a career in music or art. To navigate this uncertainty, she illustrated children's books during the day and sang at Manhattan's Village Barn at night. This bustling life in New York led her to her film debut as an extra in the 1947 film Kiss of Death, produced by Fox New York. Alongside her film work, she was also active in television, establishing a presence in the industry. In 1959, her life took a turn when she had a highly publicized affair with King Hussein of Jordan. This relationship brought her significant attention, allowing her to balance her time between television and roles in stage plays and musicals. In 1964, she welcomed her son, Timothy, who faced the challenges of dwarfism. Tragically, her life ended in violence when Timothy bludgeoned her to death with a weightlifting bar while she slept in their Encino, California home. He was charged with involuntary manslaughter, citing years of mental and physical abuse as his defense. Ultimately, he received a 3-year suspended sentence and was placed on probation for the